So, we've spent the night at an abandoned campsite. Yeah, it was a very, very quiet night, obviously, and it is very, very nice and warm here during the night because of this little setup right here. Let me show you. So, a lot of cold is coming from below my table, from the front seat, and from below my benches, let's say. This blocks a whole lot of cold. So, actually, this is when my heater's turned off and you can crank it up all the way to here. So now it went a full circle and it is on the lowest level, and it is currently a very, very comfortable 24 degrees Celsius. Now we're gonna prepare a little bit and then we're gonna explore the area, because I have no idea where we ended up actually, because we arrived here quite late. But one of the most awesome things is that we have got lake view. And as you can see from the trees and from the bushes, it is cold outside. I have no idea how cold. I think minus 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. Let's prepare and let's head out. All right, so as mentioned, we are at an abandoned campsite. We arrived last night, so we couldn't really see anything. But you can see very clearly, these are the pitches. There's our camper. There's tons of pitches right here. And actually, where you see Buddy right now, up there, there's another road like this, let's say, with more pitches. But last night when we walked here, the street lanterns aren't working, so it is pitch black out here. I found this tap right here, but it doesn't work. I mean, it's closed off. So there's basically not much here except, yeah, it looks like a campsite. At the very end right there, and at the top right there, let me see if I can show you. Right there, you can see that there used to be points where you can plug in your electricity. I bet these are working as well. I'm not really sure. And I think there's this like a construction site or something. These buildings also look pretty abandoned to me. And yeah, we're gonna explore the place a little bit. He's having the time of his life here. Now, for an abandoned place like this, it is actually pretty clean, I have to admit. This is basically the only trash that I found, except for some napkins, let's say. Here's some beer bottles and some food trash, I guess. Nothing too special. But yeah, everything is overgrown and it just looks very mystical, let's say, with these frost on it. And I think this in front here used to be the reception. Yeah, let's have a look. I have no idea what these are about, but they look like some official papers. I don't know. Alright, so here's what the campsite used to look like. I think we are right here right now. So this used to be a restaurant, which is that building right over there. And here used to be the entry of the campsite, but this one is closed down. And then I know that this whole part right here also is closed down. I think we are camping right here somewhere. And this is the only area that is open. So apparently this used to be the restaurant. With lake view. Very nice, but yeah, abandoned. But apparently it isn't closed too long ago because you could pay with Apple Pay. What did you do? Your fur is completely frozen, dude. Was it fun playing with the ducks? You weirdo. You little monster. So actually the owner of the two dogs that Buddy was just playing with, he told me that the campsite has been abandoned for about 2 years. And the reason was that the campsite got into financial problems and they are gonna build one big hotel right around here. The campsite used to be a whole lot bigger than what is open, let's say. He said it's a pity because in summer the campsite always used to be completely full, so I don't really understand how they got into financial problems. Obviously that is none of my business, but yeah, that's why nature took over.
Billy, kom maar, 1, 2.
Good boy. Good boy. Good job. Alright, so later it's time to fly with the drone, but I didn't have breakfast yet, so let's first do that. And one thing, if you've been around my channel for a while, let's say since my viral video, The Biggest Enemy of Van Life, my breakfast actually didn't change a whole lot. So I still eat my muesli. I'm not sure what this is called actually. We call it quark. But I want to add a bit of this. Quite a bit, maybe 3 spoons. Like so. Let's mix that with some fruit yogurt. This is blueberry, raspberry, strawberry. Then I would like to add some blueberries, raspberries, goji berries. The best part, coconut pieces. And then we've got some almonds to top it off.
What the?
Okay. I've never seen that happen. Wasn't the best idea to open it, I guess. When I was in Greece, I bought this mug. It is handmade from olive wood, and as you can see, I have never used it. And the woman who sold this to me, she actually said you can drink anything from it. So yeah, I just made my coffee, which spilled everywhere. But I was thinking maybe we should give it a try because I think it looks very cool. with these two finger things. So yeah, let's try it. So I figured maybe I should give it a quick rinse. Now let's see if we can pour some coffee without spilling everything. Wow, that looks super nice. Ooh. Okay, actually tastes like wood. Maybe I should use it more often. So let's actually check how much gas we have left. It's been, I think, 4 days at least since I filled it up. Okay, I think it kind of froze up, but we get it. Alright, let's take this thing off. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so I think we've got about half left. I see some ice forming here. Not sure if that's a problem though. There's some extra diesel that I took with us. Some extra 5 liters. But this should mean that we can survive with one gas tank for about a week, probably even longer. So not too bad. So I found this little problem with my sink. I'm not really sure what's going on, but somehow the water doesn't drain. I think it's because we're slightly tilted to the front that the water doesn't go away. So I'll try to lift up the front of the camper, since I think we'll stay here for at least 1 or 2 more nights. So I hope this is wide enough. That didn't do shit. Okay, one wheel is up. The other one isn't, but let's see if our sink is actually emptying. Alright, so apparently that didn't help. I hope it's not frozen up down there. What I'm gonna try is just to turn around the camper. Maybe this works, I hope. Alright, so we were right over there, and now I put it right here. I think we're tilted slightly to the back, but somehow it didn't solve the problem, as you can see. So I'm not really sure what to do with it, but this one seems to go normal, so I think we should just use this one for the time being. Wow, everything is completely frozen. Crazy. I just went out to take some pictures of my car. Pretty curious how that turned out. Good morning. Oh, he's too tired. He's too tired. Alright, so we just spent our second night here. The only things that we hear in the morning or during the night also are geese. But other than that, it is very calm, very quiet. Outside, it got a little less white. So I think, it's not, I mean, it's still freezing, I think, but the trees were whiter yesterday. So, I don't know. It's probably still pretty cold outside, but in here, it is a nice 21.2 degrees. Just using my Truma. It's a nice morning to take a shower. So we were not running out of water yet, but I think we can stretch it out for maybe 2-3 days, but then we really have to find a place where we can fill our water. But first, a nice and warm shower. This is basically what it takes for me to take a shower in my camper, but I have to admit I'm super glad that I can actually take showers inside here. So I've got a 12-volt shower, which is right in here. It just doesn't work. It worked for like 1 second, and now I think it broke. Are you fucking kidding me? The weird thing is, it is actually giving an output of 65 watt. But when I turn on the pump, it just doesn't do anything. And it constantly draws 65 watt. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just watch then. Alright, so step 1 of the plan worked. I'm clean, but this water here is not going away, so this drain is probably blocked. But also this one. And I don't know if it has to do with the position of my car, because now we're leaning backwards. Maybe I should lean forward. I don't know. That I'm gonna try. First I'm gonna get dressed. But I don't want a wet bathroom. Okay, so we're about to move the car. This is not frozen, but the side is frozen. Here's a crack, maybe it's because of that. Here it's also partially frozen. This side is frozen. Crazy. Okay, so now we're gonna try to put the car so that it tilts to the front and hope that the water will just go out. Let's see. I can barely see a thing. I only see a lot of smoke coming out of my exhaust. I guess we're frozen up. Let's check inside actually. Here there's still water. What about here? Still got the water. Fuck. So I decided the best thing I could do right now is get rid of the water, because it just doesn't drain because it's blocked. The gray water tank is frozen. Interesting situation. So I noticed yesterday Buddy has been limping and he has a little wound on his foot. So let's see if we can treat this. So this is gonna be a third night. It's pretty cool out here, honestly. I think tomorrow we might have to move because we still have some water, but not too much. Also, we still have some gas, but yeah, we could just fill it up. Maybe we stay another night. I'm not even sure. So yeah, I decided to start cooking today. I'm gonna make some rice, and then we're gonna make it with Indian style lentil curry sauce. This one right over here, it's pre-made, pre-packed, but I've had these for quite a while and they're pretty good and super healthy. And then I've got my Orient burger, I guess. Maybe I'm gonna add some spinach, of course, my triple hot sambal, and yeah, that's gonna be our meal. So first I want to make the burger. Burger is ready and the timer just went off for the rice. So let's see if this trick actually did the job. So you want to stir this thing up right now, like so, and now you just want to leave it for just a little longer so it can steam like crazy. So the plan for tonight is to survive one more night right here, and then tomorrow we're gonna fill up our LP gas tank. We're gonna fill up water. We're gonna go to a free camper spot that I found where we've got electricity, so we can use the ceramic heater that I bought to unfreeze all the pipes and the gray water tank. Up. The lock's freezing up. My car is freezing up. So, well, my hands are frozen. It's insane. According to my phone, it's -6 right now, but this morning when I looked outside, I saw this beautiful sunset, so I had to take out my drone and do some flyovers. And I think the footage turned out to be epic. You might have seen it already by now, but my hands. Hey boy, good morning. We just went for a little walk, and luckily Buddy's foot is totally fine again, or not totally fine obviously, but he seems to be walking normally again. But I left the sock on so that he won't damage it. But I'm happy for this little boy. He's so happy in the snow, it's insane. So this is our last day here. We're about to leave, and yeah, we're gonna find some place where we have electricity, where we can refill our waters. On our way there, we're gonna fill our LP gas. That was a blast, and I want to massively thank you for watching it all the way through. Please, if you enjoyed the video, leave it down below in the comments what you thought of it. This would really help it push into the algorithm so more people can actually watch the video. And of course, if you would love to follow our adventures, then consider subscribing to the channel, because we plan on making many more videos like this one. Alright, we're gonna continue our adventure, and we hope to see you in the next video. Alright, so everything here is unfrozen, I would say.